right now on ABC Big 2 News.
We start tonight with breaking news. Legendary comic, actor, and star of Full House, Bob Saget, has died. He was just 65. Good evening, I'm Rob Took.
And I'm Stephanie Martinez. The actor reportedly died at Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, Florida in his hotel room. Detectives found no sign of foul play or drug use. Saget played Danny Tanner on Full House and just started his comedy tour called I Don't Do Negative. We'll bring you more details as we learn them.
And developing now at 10, that tragic fire in New York City. Right now, we know at least 19 people were killed in this Bronx high-rise. Not far from Yankee Stadium, 60 others are injured. These dramatic images are coming in tonight, and firefighters say heavy smoke trapped families on floors above where those flames started, stretching from the 3rd floor to the 19th floor.
This smoke extended the entire height of the building. Completely unusual. Members found victims on every floor in stairwells.
And tonight, the death toll continues to climb, with city leaders confirming 9 children have also tragically died. Investigators say those flames sparked after a space heater malfunctioned. And brave recovery efforts from firefighters are still ongoing at this hour.
New York City's fire department is calling the magnitude of this fire unheard of. ABC's Phil Lipoff has details.
A Bronx building empty tonight after a fire broke out on the 3rd floor of a 19-story high-rise.
The door to that apartment was left open, causing the fire to spread and the smoke to spread.
First responders say they found people in the stairwells filled with smoke, many residents stunned.
I panicked. I was scared. I was really scared. I mean, that smoke really hit me. By the time I got to the exit and I had the mask on, I couldn't even see. I thought I went blind.
Dozens injured and taken to the hospital. Chanasia Hunter, who lives on the 10th floor, forced to evacuate.
So I was coming down the stairs and saw a body sitting on the floor. Like, this is crazy. So this building been here for years. This has never happened before.
Newly sworn in Mayor Eric Adams calling the incident unprecedented.
This is a painful moment for us. This is going to be one of the worst fires that we have witnessed during modern times here in the city of New York.
Authorities say the fire is not suspicious.
It started in a malfunctioning electric space heater. That was the cause of the fire.
Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
Also developing tonight in New Mexico, Hobbs police say officers found a newborn child in a dumpster.
A baby was found Friday night and was rushed to the hospital in Lubbock. Police say an 18-year-old woman has confessed to put that baby in the dumpster and has been charged with 2 first-degree felonies. To stay up to date with this case, just head to our website, yourbasin.com. Across Texas tonight, Houston residents are dealing with damage from severe weather. A couple of smart tornadoes touched down in parts of southeast Texas on Saturday. Many businesses and house owners are devastated for losing everything overnight.
And our Patrina Agra spoke to families about the storm damage and how they plan to recover.
Just before daybreak this morning, capturing damage left behind from last night's storm.
She was in the bathtub and she was holding my hand and she was just shaking.
Jillian Robinson tells me she was hunkered down in her bathroom with her granddaughter and 2 dogs when the storm blew through. Her neighbor's tree uprooted, crushing her fence and blocking the roadway.
And the house, I mean, it's so old, it was just shaking.
As the sun came out, the wrath of the storm became more clear. The metal roof and steel beams from this building were blown off and sent several yards where it toppled power lines, landing diagonally in a neighborhood between 2 houses. This is Mike Carr's home.
That sounded like a freight train hitting a brick wall.
Robert Andrews tells me that metal beam and debris narrowly missing his bedroom where he was sleeping.
I'm hearing the rain and the wind, and then all of a sudden just a huge noise. Boom! And I came out here and it was dark.
And back to this building where that metal roof was torn off.
You hear the tornado talk, you get the warnings, and you just push the button and dismiss it and keep on moving, but you never expect this.
Kevin Johnson is in disbelief after his Infinity Fitness studio was obliterated by the storm. His clients still showing up for class.
Just seeing it like this, and this is my life, and seeing it like this, but we'll be fine.
Katrina Adger, ABC.
Now, your Big 2 forecast first.
Well, friends, the weekend came and it went, but before it left us, it brought us some cool temperatures. Yesterday we were enjoying 74-degree temperatures, but today we're actually only did enjoy 55-degree temperatures. Usually around this time in January, we can definitely be sure to look used to 58-degree temperatures, so 3 degrees cooler than normal. I have more of this cool forecast later on in the show. Back over to you guys.
Well, last year's storm in February left parts of the Rio Grande Valley without power for days and cost farming industries around the state about $600 million.
It also killed thousands of citrus plants throughout the valley that would be producing fruit this year. We spoke with a professor of plant pathology who says losses from the freeze will continue for years. More mature trees were able to survive the freeze, but younger ones that would produce fruit in a few years cannot.
We are seeing growing back, we're seeing them grow back, many trees, but for the young ones, growers have to replant. So the damage is pretty significant.
Aside from the impact of the storm, a citrus disease referred as citrus greening is also affecting the industry. Texas A&M is working to find treatments for this disease.
And those treatments would help prevent disease to both large citrus fields and individual trees in someone's backyard.
When they get here, they feel all of a sudden there is no home for them. So what we have been also doing is to feel them welcomed in this country.
This past summer, a number of Afghan refugees fled violence to find new homes. The city of Austin will welcome hundreds of refugees by the end of the year of 2022. Refugee Service of Texas estimates more than 1,000 refugees will call Austin home. The need for affordable housing has been a central point of conversation in Austin. But many refugees are struggling to gain access to housing and transportation.
And it also comes as some longtime Austin residents have been forced to relocate because of rising prices. Now to McAllen, where Governor Greg Abbott made the announcement he is running for re-election. The governor was in McAllen Saturday during a Hispanic Leadership Summit. Now Abbott spoke on the challenges the pandemic had on businesses, as well as the future of the economy and our state's education system.
I work every day to deliver for the people of Texas. Despite the unprecedented challenges that we have faced, Texas has persevered. And now, as you have seen and heard, more and more businesses are moving here. More and more Texans are working here than ever before in the history of our state.
Meantime, President Biden toured the devastation in Colorado from the Marshall Fire. Nearly 1,000 homes were destroyed.
The president and the first lady met with families and businesses who were impacted. ABC's Nicole Rifo reports from the fire zone.
The latest numbers show 35,000 forced from their homes in this fire. Nearly 1,100 buildings, and most of them homes, destroyed, causing an estimated $513 million in damages. Speaking at the Recreation Center in Louisville, President Biden praised the incredible courage of the people who lost their homes.
Bottom line here is we have to summon the courage to do something about it, to build back better as one nation. I got a recovery here in Boulder County. It's going to take a long time. I'm not going to kid you. We're going to stay with you as long as it takes. We're going to be here for every step of the way, I promise.
From temporary housing options to tax relief, we're now learning about a number of steps survivors of this fire can take. Boulder County is partnering with the Boulder Area Rental Housing Association to offer a list of housing resources available to residents displaced by this Marshall Fire. Resources are available at marshallfirehousing.com. Earlier this week, the Colorado Department of Revenue announced the agency will offer relief on state-collected taxes. This postpones tax filing and payment deadlines. Those affected by the fire will now have until May 16th to file returns and pay any taxes that were originally due during the time the fire broke out, starting December 30th. Governor Polis with the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment also announced that disaster unemployment assistance is now approved by FEMA. That's for unemployed and self-employed individuals who were living, working, or commuting to work in the impacted areas at the time of the major disaster.
Well, friends, a shift in today's temperatures due to a cold front that has settled in the Permian Basin this morning. How long will that cold front stay in the basin? I'll have that answer after the break.
And coming up, we'll look at the NFC playoff picture. Who are the Cowboys playing next week?
In a horrifying accident at a ski resort caught on video tonight, investigators reveal what caused a pipe to explode onto a sky lift. We'll be right back.
Honey, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
Wow. When can we come back?
Celebrity Wheel returns to prime time. And that spells big time hit.
Let's go, baby!
I'm jumping!
I think the wheels have just come off.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Hi, honey.
Oh, I missed
You just want a video call the kids.
Okay. Hush, little baby.
Don't say a word.
But if slow upload speeds turn your good night call into an accidental horror movie,
Can you hear me?
Shut it down.
just remember, you're not a bad mom. You just need better internet.
AT&T Fiber delivers faster upload speeds for more reliable video calls. Get AT&T Fiber, plan starting at $35 a month for a year. Limited availability in select areas. Call 877, only ATT.
Join us for the first annual Joby Florist 33 Lead Foundation Black and White Cruise Gala, January 29th at the Odessa Marriott. All profits benefit the 33 Lead Foundation, honoring local high school athletes and coaches. Register today at 33lead.org.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country, offering over 200 engaging programs online. Praised for its culture of community, students build meaningful professional relationships with faculty who become partners in your success. GCU's online students received over $100 million in scholarships in 2020. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for.
Watch Samantha Smarechniak and meteorologist Ryan DePhillips at 11:30. We're your weather authority. We warn you first.
Well, friends, the weekend came and it went, but before it left us, we did have some pretty cool temperatures. Today, West Texans were definitely able to enjoy highs ranging in the mid-50s all the way up to their upper 60s. Midland, Odessa, 55 degrees for today. Big Spring, 68. Seminole, 53 degrees. Our friends at Presidio, where it's always nice and warm, actually managed to be only at 69 degrees, so definitely not bad for the basin. We did have a cold front that came in early this morning, and it actually stayed with us all day. That's the reason why West Texans in the Midland, Odessa area were only able to enjoy 55 degrees. Usually around this time in January, West Texans are definitely used to 58-degree temperatures, so 3 degrees cooler than normal, but not as warm as how we were back in 2009. We were sitting at a nice and steamy 80 degrees. Speaking of some low temperatures due to that cold front, we actually came in a little bit warmer than normal. 39 degrees for our highs today. Usually around this time in January, we're definitely used to, 32-degree temperatures. Not as cold as how we were back in 1967 when we were only sitting at a very single-digit 7 degrees. With that temperature change, this same time yesterday, we actually have cooled down 21 degrees in the Midland and Odessa area, 15 degrees cooler in Big Spring, 12 degrees cooler in Seminole. Now, Presidio, where they're always nice and warm, actually managed to get 6 degrees cooler this same time yesterday. Like I said, that cold front is really in the basin. It's actually going to stay in the basin all the way until Monday, and then we get into Monday, 7 a.m. We're sitting at 35 degrees. That cold front is going to stay with us into 11 p.m., sitting at 45 degrees for Midland, Odessa, and really in the upper to mid 40s for the entire basin by 11 p.m. on Monday. That cold front's actually going to stay with us until Wednesday. By the time we get into Wednesday, 9 p.m., we do see that cold front has left the basin, bringing us 50-degree temperatures by 9 p.m. in Midland and Odessa, 51 degrees in Big Spring, 44 in Seminole. Presidio, where it's always nice and warm, is actually going to stay at 56 degrees. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. You know what? Getting closer into our Monday, taking a closer look at that. In the morning, we're going to sit at a cool 26 degrees. Then we increase all the way to 52 degrees. But friends, we still will have that cold front in our area, even though we do increase to 52 degrees. Definitely not too bad whatsoever. Tomorrow evening's temperatures will look very similar to today's. Speaking of some winds, right now we're in our double digits, but as we continue on into our Monday, we do see that we will be pretty much in our single digits by the time we get into 6 a.m. We're going to stay in our single digits all the way into Tuesday, so definitely not too bad whatsoever. We are going to wake up tomorrow for our kiddos going to school in our 20s by 8 a.m. while you're at the bus stop, but the 7-day forecast does show that we actually will be sitting at 54 degrees by the time we get into Monday. We're going to stay in our 50s until Tuesday, and then that cold front leaves us for us to increase our temperatures to our 60s. Rob and Stephanie, definitely not bad at all.
Not bad, but those 20 in the range numbers kind of scare me.
In the morning.
I'll get used to it. With a little coat, it'll be all fine.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just excited. I don't have to go to school anymore that early in the morning. So
Tell me about
things
it.
are better. All right, thank you, Bridget. Well, new at 10, some horrifying video from North Carolina. Skiers on a chairlift didn't expect this. A pipe right in front of them burst from the ground, unleashing a geyser of frozen water. Now, it happened Friday at a resort near the Virginia-Tennessee border.
And now some victims of that wild accident are speaking out. ABC's Ike Ojochi has more.
It was supposed to be a fun evening on the slopes. Instead, this. Frozen water shooting from a ruptured snowblowing pipe, catching unsuspected skiers and snowboarders by surprise. Emma Lapinto and her friend were on the lift and jumped, recalling the incident with our affiliate WSOC.
All I remember is the metal bar flying up and then me flying up. I don't remember anything, and then I remember opening my eyes belly first on the ground.
Elise Ivy was also on that lift.
Everyone was in shock. And you're not going to jump from 25 feet if you don't think you have to.
Riley Lamb was one of the first to witness the scene, taking out her cell phone to record it.
We told everybody to go tell the operators to stop operating the lift. People are getting hurt. It's dangerous. They literally fell down. The water was so high. It just sprayed them so fast, and they literally fell on top of each other, and they had bruises on their faces.
Beach Mountain Resort says a skier triggered the incident after skiing over a snowmaking pipe. They issued a statement saying resort staff did not give the instruction to jump, adding that as soon as we became aware of the problem, we took action as quickly as possible to shut off the water and assist the remaining skiers disembarking at the top of the lift. 2 people were treated for injuries. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
We now go to ABC Big 2's Avi carr-gloth for sports.
Avi, the NFL played a picture in just about a set.
Yeah, the playoff picture is just about set right there. And entering the last week of the regular season, there was still a lot to sort out for playoff hopefuls. For other teams, though, who had no shot at the playoffs, like my Cleveland Browns, like the tie right there, some had a chance to play spoiler, like these Houston Texans. So let's go out to Energy Stadium, where Ryan Tannehill, the former Big Spring Steer, and the Titans, who have a chance to clinch the #1 seed in the AFC with a win today. We go right to the second quarter, no score. Tannehill to Deontay Foreman, who hurdles his way down to the 1, an acrobatic 15-yard play. Later in the drive, Tannehill looking and finding Anthony Firkser. That's a 5-yard touchdown. Titans, they're up 7-0. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Tannehill to A.J. Brown, and he will get to that corner, and the Titans would go up 14-0. Under 30 seconds left in the half, Tannehill will get another opportunity to nick Westbrook-Ikhine for the 4-yard score. Titans up 3 touchdowns at this point. But in the third, Davis Mills, he hands the ball off. He'll get it back, and then he'll get it to Chris Moore, who's open for the 28-yard touchdown, making it 21-7. In the fourth, it's 21-10. Texans looking here. That's Mills looking, scrambling, throws across his body, and finds Danny Amendola in the back of the end zone for a 7-yard score. Texans would make it a 3-point game. Later in the fourth, same score. Tannehill, he's hit He's going to stay on his feet somehow. And Westbrook-Akeen makes a 37-yard play later in the drive. Tannehill one more time. That's Julio Jones he would find for the 4-yard score. Titans, they hold on and get the number 1 seed in the AFC 28-25. Well, we know what the NFC playoff picture looks like. We got our matchups for the wild card weekend set on that side of the bracket. The Packers, they're sitting there pretty at the top seed. They get a bye week and they get to rest up, skip the wild card weekend altogether. The defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they will host the Eagles, starting their postseason title defense. And we got the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be at home, and they're facing those San Francisco 49ers, who won in overtime today to clinch a playoff spot. These teams, of course, have a bit of a playoff history back in the 80s and 90s, so we'll be adding a new chapter to this historic postseason rivalry. And then finally, we got an NFC West rivalry game in the playoffs with the LA Rams hosting the Cardinals. But of course, before all that, tomorrow night, we've got the college football playoff national championship game. Georgia and Alabama, they played about a month ago for the SEC title. Alabama won that game pretty easily. They also played 4 years ago in the national championship game as well, with Alabama winning in overtime in an all-time classic finish. Kirby Smart, head coach for Georgia, he's trying to beat his old boss, Nick Saban, for the first time. The college football season will come to a close once again with the most dominant conference vying for the title. But back to the Dallas Cowboys. They're playing the 49ers. We got a couple 49ers fans in the building tonight. Our director, Justin, who's behind the scenes, and then Rob Took, 49ers fan, a big matchup. That game will be at 3:30 on Sunday, Rob. I mean, you're in hostile territory here.
Avi, you know I'm not going to be working. I'm going to be watching that game. For a lot of you out there, I know you're out there. If you're faithful, stay faithful. We'll take on the Cowboys.
Oh,
how
boy.
That goes.
Oh.
Yeah, fighting words, I'll keep those to myself, actually.
Yeah. Should be a fun one.
All right, well, thank you, Avi.
Some schools are returning to virtual learning. Up next, the question parents are asking as the new COVID cases emerge.
The Sand Hill Stock Show and Rodeo is back again. Come out to the Ector County Coliseum, January 6th through the 15th for no-holds-barred rodeo action. This is the most intense rodeo competition in the Permian Basin. Cheer these cowboys and cowgirls on as they ride and rope to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo. The Sand Hill Stock Show and Rodeo, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Tickets on sale at boxofficesolutions.net.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide our skin, not us.
Because Dupixent targets a root cause of eczema, it helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of it. And for kids ages 6 and up, that means clearer skin and noticeably less itch.
Hide my skin? Not me.
By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can change how their skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice.
Hide my skin? Not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can show more with less eczema. Talk to your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips.
Well, a number of students are starting class tomorrow remotely, like in Little Rock, Arkansas, where school leaders say COVID cases are rising. But parents say throughout this pandemic, classrooms provide a better learning environment than virtual programs. The debate continues on parents and school leaders wanting to keep their kids safe while getting a proper education. And across the country, coronavirus infections are causing a breakdown in basic functions and services. First responders, hospitals, schools, and even government agencies are using an all-hands-on approach to keep the public safe.
But as ABC's Karina Mitchell reports, there is a concern about how much longer they can keep it up.
As the Omicron variant continues to spread, hospitals are overwhelmed. In New York State, elective surgeries at more than 36 hospitals are temporarily on hold because of low bed capacity. The state recorded more than 90,000 cases on Friday alone.
The real issue right now is volume, as the amount of patients that are coming in associated with the COVID-19 and its Omicron variant are simply depleting hospital resources, staff, and bringing the hospital to a capacity that is not sustainable.
New Hampshire hospitals are also feeling the effects.
This surge that we're experiencing now is the largest volume of patients that have been the sickest, and it's been going on the longest of all the waves that we've had. So in many ways, this has been the worst at a time where we really thought we weren't going to have to deal with this again.
Earlier in the week, the state's governor deploying members of the National Guard to provide support to hospitals and long-term care facilities. Also sending in the National Guard, California. Governor Gavin Newsom activating more than 200 members to help with staffing and crowd control at testing sites. And in New York City, state officials are adding 4 new COVID testing sites at subway stations. The governor says testing is a big part of the state's strategy to fight COVID. Meantime, classes resume in Los Angeles starting this week. Students and staff will have to be tested before returning to the classroom. Parents lined up to pick up test kits last week.
At-home testing is just one thing of the toolbox. What we want to focus is making sure that our students are vaccinated, that our teachers are vaccinated, they have their booster shots, that they have masks on, and proper PPE to ensure that schools open safely on Tuesday.
Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Well, coming up tonight, it was quite the sight along one river. More than 100 bald eagles putting on a soaring show. We go bird watching after the break.
ABC Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
All across this country, a nation of doers, fighters, and dreamers are beginning a new day with hope for tomorrow. Because our future doesn't belong to the lighthearted. It belongs to the brave. There's a new morning program which will celebrate the best of us. This is news for all America. It's Morning in America.
The Village at Manor Park is a continued care retirement community that offers dozens of independent living floor plans. Plus, there are various levels of care if your needs are to change. At Manor Park, you'll find peace of mind and great amenities that will improve your quality of life. Yard care, trash pickup, and food service are just a few. Plus, Village South is complete. Live in a new home across from our community center. Manor Park. Live well and love where you live.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably served and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
We're optimizing your connections. Our new smart Wi-Fi 6 technology powered by Optimum features mesh coverage for a better whole home Wi-Fi experience. Now with an extender included, you'll get Wi-Fi even in those hard to reach places. Stream, work, and game faster, all on one powerful mesh Wi-Fi network. Greater whole home coverage is here with smart Wi-Fi 6, now including a free Wi-Fi extender with select internet packages.
Well, you can call it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not one, not two, but nearly 140 bald eagles landed along the Missouri River, and it was a beautiful thing.
A lucky few got a chance to watch them in person. Donald Jurgensen spoke with those bird watchers about what they saw.
I could sit here all day and watch.
Pam Erickson and her husband of Irene are traveling to Lincoln, Nebraska, but they're in no hurry.
We just decided at the last minute to stop in and see if there was any eagles out here, and the view is awesome.
This is the view she and a lot of others are talking about.
So my wife's the photographer, and she dragged me out here to go see the eagles.
Christopher and Brooke Price of Norfolk, Nebraska didn't drive an hour to just come and watch. Brooke is capturing America's iconic symbol on camera.
In Norfolk, we'll see a couple every now and then, but to see this many like this is pretty awesome.
Eagles like to gather near large bodies of open water with an abundant food supply and old trees for nesting.
We've got open water here, low water levels. I think it's good time for the eagles to be looking for prey, so they feed on fish, and I think that's why they're hanging out in the area right now.
And they're not just hanging out in the trees. Some hitch a ride on floating icebergs, hunkered down and praying for an opportunity.
Yeah, they're pretty cool creatures, and they'll do a lot of things that will surprise the people that are watching them.
It's one thing to see an eagle and its 6-foot wingspan soaring over open waters, but it's another chilling moment to see it flying so freely in a country that's all about its freedom.
Coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast.
Stay tuned.
Just 2 pills for all-day pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible. And also try Aleve X topical pain relief.
We know these roads and drive them too. From the big trucks passing through on the interstates to the oilfield traffic in the Permian Basin. At Glasheen, Vias, and Inderman Injury Lawyers, we handle big crashes, especially those involving big trucks. We know that it's important to investigate immediately before critical evidence disappears or witnesses' memories fade. For catastrophic injury or wrongful death, call the people you know. Glasheen, Vias, and Inderman Injury Lawyers.
I think you'll agree a beautiful room in your home just changes everything. Like this Tilly sofa and love seat and the long-wearing fabric. It's only $24.82, less than $50 a month. But I want to make it better by giving you 20% of your entire purchase and extra furniture free. Maybe you want to add a handmade rug, beautiful accessories. It's all up to you. And as you'd expect, you always get 60 months to pay and never bothered with those pesky shopper stalkers. That's only at Bob Mills.
To grow up healthy and happy, kids need fun experiences that stick with them forever. A group of friends that keeps them playful, and the freedom to just be a kid. The pandemic took so much of this away from them. But now, you can protect your kids the same way you've protected yourself. The vaccine is finally available for kids age 5 through 11. It's safe, effective, and doctor approved. Get your kids the protection they deserve and schedule a vaccine appointment today at vaccinenm.org/kids.
Watch Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Beck from West Tex on Good Morning Basin. The Basin's favorite morning show just got bigger. Watch Good Morning Basin from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on ABC Big 2 and 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Fox 24.
Well, friends, before we take one last look at that 7-day forecast, let's take a look at our hour-by-hour graphic. It shows right now we're sitting at 41 degrees. Really, us time with Big Spring, 38 Seminole. But, you know, that cold front that was with us this morning is going to stay with us until 7 a.m. And just when you think it's going to leave us, it does not. It's going to be with us really until afternoon. And then as we make our way into the evening, it's still going to be with us. That cold front's not going anywhere, you guys, until we get into maybe 1 a.m. on Wednesday. We do see a little bit of breakage, a little bit of that blue leaving away. But you know what, psych, you guys. It's going to be with us until 4 p.m. That's when we increase the temperatures to 60s, but really throughout we're going to see that, you know, we'll be in our 50s. Definitely not too bad whatsoever. That day planner does show that we will reach a high of only 52 degrees. The sun's going to be out, but it's also going to be covered by some clouds. Take a look at that 7-day forecast. It's here, you guys. Tomorrow, 54 degrees, so 2 degrees warmer than what we will see by 4 p.m. And then we're going to be in our 50s come Tuesday, and then Wednesdays when we actually increase a little bit, and then that's when the weekend comes and we go back down to our normal temperatures, sitting at 52 degrees on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. So definitely not bad whatsoever. Just be warm. The sun's going to be out, but so will the clouds. Rob and Stefania.
Absolutely. Well, some bright and beautiful colors lit up the sky over Finland this weekend. The Northern Lights, otherwise known as Aurora Borealis, turned the sky green.
A photographer who caught the scene said those arches could be seen dancing in the sky for an hour.
So beautiful. Oh my gosh.
You know, it's quite the beautiful sight. It's something I've always wanted to do, but
Honestly, me too. Yeah.
you know, the frigid temperatures and all that, you know, just getting up there, it's quite the adventure and quite the trip.
But it's worth it.
You know, if boss is watching, I would like to go up there and take some time off. Did I say that?
What do we do in news trip?
Well, that's all the time we have for news.
Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week.